Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? I just wanted to come on real quick and do a quick video. Hopefully it's not gonna be too long. I don't know. It depends where my mind goes with this. But I know I haven't posted a video in a while. Um and that's because I've been just very, very busy lately. With work and also just trying to figure out, trying to rebrand myself in a way, figure out, exactly certain content I want to put out, on my YouTube page and on my TikTok and everything like that. And also, the main thing that I've been doing is I've been on a 40-day fast, which is something new for me. Y'all keep me in prayer because this is not for the weak. This is not for the weak. This is my first time doing a fast this long. And it started on January the 5th. And I'm doing it with another group of, like a group of ladies. And, it consists of, it's called like a Daniel fast and a liquid fast. And so for the first 20 days, I've been allowed to eat like fruits and vegetables. And then for the next 20 days, this is my 20th day actually. This is also why I'm doing the video, because I'm proud of myself because I'm halfway through my fast. Yay me! Yay! Which is big for me because I'm definitely what you would consider a foodie. I love to eat. I love to eat all types of food. I try not to, in my older age, I've gotten more, well, not that I'm that old, because I'm not, but I try to be more cautious about, like, what I eat. Like, I try not to eat a lot of fried foods anymore, like too much greasy stuff. And, too much, like heavy stuff all the time. I used to be like a person that ate a lot of heavy food, a lot of cheesesteaks, a lot of pizza, a lot of bread, but I've become more conscious about what I eat as, the years have gone on, and, as I've had certain health issues and things, like, it's made me become more health conscious about, what I eat and portions and things like that, But I still love to eat though. I still love a good piece of fried chicken, you know what I mean? Every now and again, I try to definitely stay away from pork, also due to the fact that I had fibroids, tumors at one time, and I had to get surgery to get them removed. They were on my uterus. I don't know if anyone knows, what fibroid tumors are, but they're like benign tumors on your uterus. And I had like 13 of them things. And they were causing me really heavy periods, a lot of, heavy bleeding, fatigue, pain in my back and in my pelvis. And also, it was pressing on like my bladder because it was on my uterus. It was like pressing on my bladder. So when I would have to go to the bathroom, I would have to go bad, and I would have to like run. If I didn't get to the bathroom right away, like, it was no good. And so it was like very, very uncomfortable to deal with, very embarrassing to deal with, just, it was just a lot, So I found a doctor. Well, I started doing like more research about it first before I decided to get a surgery to get them removed. And during my research, like, I found that a lot of it is due to what you eat, and eating a lot of like red meat and pork and things like that can cause them to grow, and grow bigger and stuff. Like, I had one that was like 13 centimeters, I found out, and it was making me look like I was pregnant, because it's on the uterus. So, it was just protruding, and it was making my stomach protrude. and looked like I was pregnant when I wasn't, So it was just very uncomfortable to deal with. And, before I decided to get my surgery, I did a lot of research on it. And, I found a lot of other women that had dealt with it. And I explored different options about, what I should do to get rid of them. Some women went through like the shrinking process where they just, got them like shrunk, but I wanted them removed, because I just felt like that was the best way to go. And I actually found the best surgery that was best for me to do, because I do my research on everything before I do anything. I do a thorough research. So I had like what was called a robotic myomectomy, and that was like one of the safest procedures. It was actually done with like a robot machine, and it caused like less incisions and less bleeding and things like that than like a regular myomectomy surgery. It was less invasive, so I wanted the most least invasive procedure that I could possibly get, So because I was dealing with my uterus, and I hadn't had a kid at the time, so I wanted to preserve my uterus and make sure that I could have kids in the future. Which is funny because my doctor had told me that, who did my surgery, my gynecologist at the time, he had told me that, when a lot of women, once they get this surgery, they become very fertile. And, he said that, a lot of women have gotten pregnant, like, not long after, getting this surgery if they're not careful and things like that. And long and behold, a year later after getting my surgery, I wound up getting pregnant a year and some months later. I had the surgery in 2019. I got pregnant with my son like June 2020, I think I had the surgery beginning of June 2019. And then I got pregnant with my son June 2020. So it definitely was true what he said about, once you get the tumors removed because they sit on your uterus, you become more fertile, once they're removed, because it's not blocking all of the reproductive organs and whatever else going on, inside your body, the fallopian tubes and everything like that for you to get pregnant. So, but that was a blessing though. My son, it wasn't necessarily planned, but it was a blessing that I had him, But yeah, so I say that to say what I was getting at with this whole story was that, it's been this fast, I'm on day 20, which I'm halfway through, and I'm very proud of myself because, I went into it, not knowing what to expect, feeling a little bit nervous because I'm like, dang, Jazz, you like to eat, I'm saying to myself, like, you like to eat, it's going to be a little hard, but I'm like, it's 2026, I want to try something different. I want to do something that I haven't done before, and I felt like it would be beneficial because of the, the path that I'm on, and just how I'm trying to strengthen my faith in God and get closer to God. And I knew that doing this fast would help me in those areas, and it would help me to release a lot of things that I've been dealing with and stuff like that. And it really has been very spiritually uplifting and renewing. And I can actually say that, I'm glad that I'm participating in this fast. And the group of ladies that I'm doing it with, during the fast, every day we have like a Zoom call at 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock West Coast time, but for my time, it's like 10 o'clock. But anyway, we have a Zoom call, and we do a prayer, like a Zoom call prayer, where everybody gets to pray and just, kind of pray over anything that they want to pray over, or anything that they've been able to, release during this fast, or, just how this fast is helping them, just anything that they basically want to pray for, we are able to pray for every day. during our prayer calls. So that helps. And then we have like kind of like prompts that they send us, that the lady who's leading it, she sends us through email every day, a prompt which has like kind of like 2 verses with it, like scriptures for us to read for the day, and then a prompt like a question that'll ask us something pertaining to what day it is of the fast, and a prayer focus for that day, and an action step for us to take for that day. So it's really good, it's really, I've been trying to follow along every day. With the matter of fact, I gotta do my prompt for today. I've been kind of busy, like just, cleaning up a little bit, and I had to run to the store to get a few things today, so I can make dinner tomorrow. And I was trying to go before the stores got crowded, because it's supposed to be a bad snowstorm starting tonight, and everybody's like in a panic where I live at. On the East Coast, it's supposed to be a really bad snowstorm. I don't know if it's one happening where you are, but hopefully, you stay safe if you're traveling. Get the necessities and essentials that you need for the storm. I have a flashlight in case you lose power. I put some salt down today on my driveway, and on the sidewalk where I have to walk out the door, I put some salt, ice salt melt down, and so I'm prepared. I'm hoping it's not going to be as bad as they said that it is going to be. Hopefully it kind of passes us and just get a couple little inches, but they said it might be like 12 inches. So I'm just like, but people been going crazy at the store, like literally losing their mind at the store, buying up all this stuff on the shelves, and just the store is just packed, and sometimes I say to myself, and I don't know, and I'm not trying to judge, but it's just like, I feel like sometimes people go a little bit too crazy when these things happen. Like, I feel like they get so much in a panic that they lose their mind and they lose their common sense. And it's kind of like, and you buying up all this stuff, right, that you probably not going to need, not going to use, and then the snow might not even be as bad as they told you that it was going to be. And then it's like, now you don't wasted money, and you wasting food for people that could use that food, people that really need that food. You know what I'm saying? It's going bad sitting in your fridge. You're not going to eat it in time, and it's going to go bad. So it's like, why sit up here and lose your mind buying up all the stuff up on the shelves that you're not even going to use? I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like sometimes people let the news and the media and stuff just like make them go coco loco. You know what I'm saying? So where they lose their common sense to say, let me just get, a little bit of stuff or what I might need and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just start going just nuts. So, and it's just like, so, I had already went to the store the other day and, got me a couple things, and it was so crowded in there, it was ridiculous. I was glad, though, that I was able to get in and out. Surprisingly, like, I got in the shortest line, and I got up out of there, and, I like to be, when I'm in the grocery store, I like to go in and out. I already come with my list ready, because I don't want to be walking around forever. Like, I hate walking around the grocery store forever. I hate going to the grocery store, period, but when I have to go, I want to be in and out, literally, so I have my list, I know what I'm getting, and I'm in and out, I want to be in and out, but, so it was just, so today I had to just get a couple things that I forgot to get, because I'm making, these turkey thighs tomorrow. I was going to make them today, but I had a lot going on today, and I'm kind of tired, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not going to make them turkey thighs today. I'm just going to wait and make them tomorrow, since we'll probably be snowed in anyway. I can just make them early afternoon, and, so I got most of what I need to get done done today. And so tomorrow I have more time and I'll be more well rested and I can make them. So I'm going to make that and some plantains and some rice. I love plantains. I really do. I really love plantains. And some jasmine rice. And, that's going to be my meal for tomorrow. So, yeah, but this fast, so that's what I've been doing. And, I've been taking a little break while I'm doing the fast because that's one of the things that, like, in the beginning was on our prompt was, like, something that you can take a break from or remove, like social media or something like that. So, I've been kind of like taking a break from this TikTok and from making videos. And like I said, I'm gonna still be doing my daily devotionals, but I'm just not gonna do them every day. I think I'm gonna probably do it like twice a week, and maybe do other videos here and there. But I'm just really, really busy. My schedule is really busy, and it was just getting to be a little too much trying to do my daily devotions every single day. Like, even though I read it to myself every day, I read my devotionals, whether it's on my phone or in a book that I have. But I just think that it's best if I do it like maybe twice a week as far as the video content. And I'll be doing videos about other things too, like sometimes like this, just having open conversation or topics that I might feel like I want to talk about, for the day. It can be a variety of things. So I can't really say, pinpoint exactly what it's going to be. It's just going to be my thoughts for the day. You know what I mean? But my main thought for today, I would say, would be to, for 2026, dare to do something different. Dare to do something different. That's what I did with this fast, and that's what I'm doing with this fast. And it's definitely been, it's challenging, and, I have my moments where I slip up a little bit with things that I might eat. I kind of had to alter mine a little bit because of the fact that it was my first time doing this type of intensive, long of a fast. So what I decided to do was from like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I try to only eat fruits and vegetables. And then after 7 p.m., I can kind of have whatever I want. You know what I mean? Because I work a lot and I usually work like in the evening, so I don't get off till late. So, and I be kind of hungry, but, I just try to but I need to do a little better with maybe what I might choose to eat after work hours, you know what I mean? So I'm not eating stuff that's too heavy before I go to bed. But I definitely can say that, like, I see, a change even in my body size, you know what I mean? Like, I used to be a little, like, bloated. And I noticed that my stomach even has been going down during this fast, and I'm not as bloated feeling as I am. And I'm not as, like, groggy feeling as I am because I'm eating more fruits and more vegetables. I've been doing a lot of, like, bananas and grapes and blueberries. I do a smoothie for breakfast. I love, I have this, the frozen bananas and, like a frozen banana and peanut butter mix, smoothie mix. And all I have to do is throw it in my blender bottle. I have like a travel blender bottle, which I love, that I got from Marshall's. Oh, it's so convenient. It's so convenient because you just blend it right in the bottle and drink it right from your bottle. You know what I mean? It has a straw that comes with it and everything. And it just blends right inside the blender bottle. And then once you're done blending, you just put your straw in and drink it. And you can take it on the go. So I love my blender bottle. I really do. It was a good investment. I got it on sale at Marshall's like during the holidays. And so, I've been really liking the, like I said, the banana and peanut butter smoothie mix. And I just got a blueberry one the other day, just all blueberries, fresh blueberries. So I'll do the frozen blueberries. Sometimes I'll add banana in that. And then I might add every now and again some oatmeal and like chia seeds. And, it's just really, 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 really good. Like, and a little bit of honey. And that's it. No sugar, just a little bit of honey, organic honey. Blend that thing up with some almond milk. And it is just delicious. It's creamy, it's delicious. And it's actually filling. It fills me up for breakfast, So I don't have to have, no big breakfast, So, and then, for lunch, I've been doing like a sweet potato, baked sweet potatoes. I bake that in the microwave, 5 minutes on each side with a little like olive oil, and I'll punch holes in it. Put a little brown sugar around it before I put it in the microwave for 5 minutes on each side. And then, open it up. I put a little bit of butter, just a little bit. And then I do a little bit of either honey or some syrup and some cinnamon sugar, and eat that. And that fills me up for like lunch, and then I don't have to eat again until like around maybe, like I'll take snacks to work, when I have to go to work in the afternoon, evening. So I'll take like bananas and grapes for lunch, for snack. And, and then, around about like 5:30 or so, I might have another big sweet potato. And then after, 7, then I can eat kind of like what I want. So I've been getting like, the frozen dinner meals, but like healthy things. Yesterday I had a frozen meal that was like it was like a salmon Alfredo, like with the penne pasta and broccoli and stuff. But I wasn't too keen on the frozen salmon, because it tasted very fishy, and I didn't really like it. So I was just like, nah, I wouldn't get this again, But I got a shrimp one I might eat tonight, if I get hungry in a little bit. I'm not really that hungry right now, but because I had some sweet potato fries, and that's kind of, that's like healthier than regular fries, and it's a sweet potato. So I baked them in the oven, and I had them just a little while ago, so I'm full. But I'm definitely eating less, during this fast, and it's definitely just helping me and bringing me clarity. And I've been doing a lot of praying during this fast, and so, it's something different for me. It really is. And I even said to myself, like, I think after this fast, I'm still going to incorporate, these good eating habits of eating more fruits and vegetables. I really like asparagus. I've been doing a lot more like baking asparagus in the oven. I'll toss it with some olive oil, cut the stems, and put a little salt, pepper, and maybe a little crushed red pepper or garlic salt, and bake it in the oven, depending on the size, like 16 to 20 minutes maybe, or like maybe 12 to 15 minutes or so, and it's been really good. It's been really good. So I've been trying different vegetables. I got Brussels sprouts. I like Brussels sprouts a lot. So I think I'm going to definitely still continue even after the fast is done. The fast will be done February 14th. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for how far I've come in it, and just, what it's been doing for me in my life, and, just helping me to just bring me clarity, and, helping me to shed a lot of old ways of thinking and behaviors and patterns, and just some things, some bits of unforgiveness and stuff that I may have had for certain people in certain situations. Just been helping me to really, really clear my mind. So I definitely would suggest it if you are able to do something like that. If you think you can handle something like that, a 40-day fast at some point in your life, I would say to do that, because it's very rejuvenating and invigorating and uplifting, and there's a lot of great benefits to it. And like I said, you start to, your eating habits and desires change, because like I said, even after I'm done this fast, I'm not going to go back to eating the same way. Like, I just feel like it's just like I found a new way of eating and new things that I enjoy eating, fruits and vegetables and smoothies. And I want to incorporate that now into my everyday life, not just when the fast is over. So I would definitely suggest it. And like I said, that's my message for the day, is just to dare to do something different this year. It's 2026. It's a great year. It's a new year. It's a time of, just reset. You know what I mean? And, don't ever feel bad if you have set New Year's resolutions and goals and you haven't, necessarily, you know, uh, let's say you fall off with them a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start something and then you feel like you might have a day or so that you fall off. You start a routine. Let's say you said you was going to go to the gym, let's say, 3 times a week, right? Or 4 times a week. But you only been finding yourself being able to go 2 times a week. Don't beat yourself up about it, because at least you're trying. You know what I mean? At least you are making the the attempt to do it. Just try to, pick yourself back up. If you have a bad week, say to yourself, all right, the next week I said I'm going to try to do at least 3 days a week. So I'm going to go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like, set yourself a schedule, and just try to pick yourself back up and do better. I mean, even during this fast, I had, a couple of days where, well, it was because it was my son's birthday last week, and on Thursday. And so I kind of called it my 2-day break, because I had to come out to eat for lunch, and then I had bought him an ice cream cake for his birthday. So I had some of that when I wasn't supposed to. That wasn't a part of my fast. We're not supposed to have no sweets during the fast. But, I was like, it's my son's birthday, and I'm not going to not, enjoy with him and stuff like that, And, his cake was good, so, I had to give me a piece of that cake. But, I didn't beat myself up. I just said, okay, I'm playing hooky a little bit for 2 days. But after these 2 days, I'm going to get back to it. And I did. I got right back into my routine, after his birthday was over. You know what I mean? So, I would just say, like, whatever you have a goal of doing and you want to achieve, even if you have moments of, weakness, or, not necessarily weakness, but, maybe you fell off a bit, and you lost track, you lost sight of what you were doing. Don't give up. That's the whole thing. You know what I mean? Just don't give up. Just don't throw in the towel completely and say, oh, I'm done with it because I messed up already as it is, so I might as well just be done. You know what I mean? There was something that Joyce Myers, I listen to Joyce Myers a lot, and Pastor Joyce Myers, and, she talks about failing forward, and sometimes we have to do that, fail forward, even though we might feel like we're failing, because we messed up in some areas. But what counts is if you get yourself back up, dust yourself off, and you continue to try, and you continue to put your best foot forward, and you continue to move forward. You know what I mean? So that's failing forward. Even though you fail, you don't just lay down and just give up and decide, well, I'm just going to quit because I failed. No, you allow yourself to learn from the experience, to grow from the experience, and to just do better going forward, So that's my message for today. I'm getting ready to get off of here. I have some things to do. But I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're enjoying your 2026. I hope God is doing great things in your life, and He's an awesome God, and if you don't know Him, I pray that you get to know Him, because, He's definitely a provider, a way maker, a healer, somebody that you can talk to, that you can trust in, you can depend on, you know. So I just pray that, you would know him in your heart and in your spirit, and talk to him about whatever it is that could be bothering you or that you could be going through, no matter how big or how small the problems and the issues are. That's what God is there for. He loves us, and he's there to support us, and he's there to encourage us and to be our friend. And we can lay our burdens down on him, whatever it is, and that's what I've learned. I'm just speaking from experience. So yeah, definitely, have a great weekend ahead. We're supposed to get a lot of snow where I'm at, but I'm hoping it just passes and it's just a light dusting and we can go on about our way, because I can't wait till winter is over. This winter it's been cold. It's been cold. Anybody on the East Coast knows how cold it gets here. But anyway, sending love, light, and good vibes your way. I'm postponing right now. I was doing offering prayer calls and life coaching sessions, but I have that on pause right now while I'm doing my fast. And also I have to give out my new number information. So I'm not going to give that information for right now. But anyway, it'll be coming soon. New things, new ventures in 2026 and beyond. So, all right, take care, everybody.